What's good, people? It's your boy Icarus Gray, and this season of Demon Slayer was amazing. Before getting into the content, make sure that you hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified for all of the anime and manga content we do over here at Gray Area Anime. Let's do this. This season was fire. Upper rank demons, sun breathing, Rengoku's dad, 3 wives. It was all interesting. Picking up directly from the Mugen Train arc and giving us an emotional roller coaster of Tanjiro talking to Rengoku's dad and trying to learn more about sun breathing, you enter this somber feeling and you kind of relax a bit. His dad is apprehensive to even tell Tanjiro anything, and so when he finally does, when he finally recognizes the sacrifices that his son made and connects with Tanjiro for a second, it means something. Tanjiro's connection to Rengoku's brother also deepens this feeling that there's just something special about our guy. They all return to the butterfly house to heal, and upon returning, the new Hashishira, Tengen Uzui, is trying to kidnap some of the girls. But for what reason? He intends to use them, as geishas in the entertainment district to go after a upper ranked demon. Of course, Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke are not going to let this happen, and they offer up themselves to go instead. The hilarity of the entertainment district, Zenitsu finding out about Uzui's wives, hilarious. The general jealousy that is pouring out of this man is palpable and fun. Inosuke and Tanjiro, and the fact that they're now disguised as very ugly women. I'm sorry. These are facts. The connections that they have with each of the prospective houses that they get in is also heartwarming. Zenitsu forms a bond with 2 of the girls there and protects them later from Daki and goes to get their honor. He has a Sanji type code and it's endearing. Inosuke is just there to wreck shop and figure out what's going on with the demon overall, but I love it. And Tanjiro is just a hard-working person who they knew was a boy the entire time. You're not good undercover, Tanjiro. Learning more about Uzui's relationship to his wives and why he chose this polygamous thing in his flashy sense is also endearing. I mean, I know that it's controversial for a lot of people, and hell, I wouldn't do it, but in the context of how they're telling the story and how much he wanted to break from these ninja codes, these cruel ninja codes that his father placed upon him and all of his other siblings, and all but 2 survived, he and his brother. It makes you connect with the Hashishira in a way that we got to connect with Rengoku, but now we're seeing the diversity in depth, and the backstory builds to a place of knowing he's going to live his life flashy no matter what, and it's earned. So we go through this season really quick with only 11 episodes, but so much flames and fire and fighting, and it's just good. Tanjiro using his sun breathing and learning more about it. Nezuko's overpowered demon art. These things make for an entertaining arc that never let us down, that continued to build tension. The initial fight with Daki that Tanjiro has is so cool. His actualization of using his sun breathing is amazing. The fact that he almost dies, he's losing his breath, he was literally unstoppable. Nezuko jumping in to save the day, and so many good fights. Once everyone enters the scene, I was at the edge of my seat in every episode. I promise you that. The revealing that Daki was not just the upper 6 demon, that it was 2 of them, that it was her and her brother Gyutaro, and Gyutaro was like, I don't know, Scyther. He's like a demon Pokemon. He had scythe hands and his blood art was cool. The fact that the power that he possessed was so much stronger than hers, and that everything he was doing essentially was for his sister. I mean, yeah, they're demons and they're here killing folks, and there's no redemption in them whatsoever. So please note that the latter part of this episode, when I kind of explain their redemption, I like how they handled this. So just hold on a second. But anyway, his introduction, Uzui's introduction to the fight, and the fact that he's fighting him and he ends up getting poisoned, but he's so flashy and has such a bravado that he doesn't let the guys on that this is happening to him. Intense. Nezuko in her fight, the way Tanjiro calms her down, saves her, comes back to the fight, realizes that he can't just use sun breathing, he has to also use his water breathing and combine them to defense and offense and be, you know, not scared while accepting the fact that he understands why he's scared. I mean, this anime, y'all, is one of the best I've ever seen, not just in visual cues, but it's just a good story that I think if we learn some things from it, we'd even be better people. And so everything concludes around episode 10 and 11 when the fights finally just reach their peak, when Tanjiro and Uzui are fighting Gyutaro, and when Zenitsu and Inosuke are fighting Daki. It's just great. You realize that you have to cut off both their heads at the same time for them to die. And it was weird at first until you get their backstory later, and even that was amazing. Uzui getting his arm chopped off in the middle of the fight, still being able to fight, still cutting his head off, while the three guys take off Daki's head. And then at the end, he does some sort of exploding death attack. What are y'all trying to do to us? I'm so glad that the season concluded on so many good things after that, with the fact that Nezuko's demon art is healing to the poisons of demons because she's never attacked a human. Her healing Inosuke, her healing Uzui so he doesn't have to say his last words, which were also another funny moment where he's trying to get out his words. But the fact that Suma can't stop crying long enough or yelling his name to let him give his last words, that, listen, they know how to bring tension, they know how to break tension, they know how to bring us in. Everything about this season was great. In the middle of an argument, while their heads are cut off and they're disintegrating, they're degrading one another. Daki is telling Gyutaro that he's a terrible brother and all of these things, and they're speaking so harshly against one another. Tanjiro had finally found them because he had to see that they were finally dead, and rightfully so, given the things that were going on with them. But when Nezuko carries him there, because y'all know he can't walk at this point, in the middle of the harsh things that they're saying to each other, he sees another version of him and Nezuko. And he covers Gyotaro's mouth before he tells her that she's a terrible sister, or whatever it is he was about to say, because he says, hey, these are your last moments. Why spend it arguing with each other? You're not going to get the forgiveness of the people that you've killed, but don't turn on each other in these last moments. And it's at this moment that the flashback for Gyutaro happens, and you realize how hard they had it in life. It doesn't wash away the things that they did. It doesn't wash away the people that they've hurt, but they accept themselves in and of that moment. Something we could all learn from. And this anime eloquently puts that together in this moment of their acceptance that they're not walking towards the light. They're walking towards their utter destruction, but they choose to do it together, and they choose to remember the fact that they're brother and sister. And call me a sucker, but listen, that's great. Family is everything. My overall feelings about season 2, it's the most amazing thing that I've watched this year. I mean, how do you go from a movie that literally brought tears to my eyes to continuing that same level of animation, that same level of storytelling, while raising the tension, raising the hype, growing our character in ways that are earned? I really hope that this kind of continues and that we get to see more of what this anime is going to be, and that, you know, maybe we don't have to wait like years, and maybe we don't have to wait so long that, you know, they start trying to add more content or make a sequel. Or listen, it's a fine wine and it doesn't need anything else. But nonetheless, what did you think of it? Leave your comments down below. Let's have a discussion about this amazing season 2, what we're wanting from season 3, and what were your favorite moments. While you're there, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified for the next video over here at Gray Area Anime. A 1 and a 2, and peace.